Season 2 of My Dress Up Darling has just concluded. Now, how was it? Was it great, good, bad, horrible? Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel, or maybe welcome back to the channel. I don't know. I assume it's welcome to, but maybe it's welcome back. I don't really know. I have been really trying to figure out what I want to do on this channel that I have here, and I think I might have finally found it. I'm a huge romance anime fan, and with this new season of romance anime came season 2 of My Dress Up Darling, which season 1 was really good, and I really like season 2, and I thought, you know what, let's talk about it. So today I'm going to be here to review season 2 of My Dress Up Darling, talk about it, different plot points, different things that I like, dislike, and all that stuff about its full review. I'll talk more about this channel and what I really want to do with it and stuff at the end of the video, but for now, I know what you're here for. Let's not waste any more of your time. Let's talk season 2 My Dress Up Darling. So we're breaking this up into different sections that I want to talk about. First, and the most juiciest part of it, Gojo and Marin's relationship in season 2, because obviously that's the main key point that makes you click and makes you watch the show. Obviously, is Marin and Gojo and their cute selves doing the things that they are doing, the romance. That's what we're really here for, baby. So first, I'm going to go through different big points of the season, different scenes, different things that happen, that really encapsulates the relationship of Gojo and Marin. We already come into the season knowing that Marin has a crush on Gojo. We saw that about midway through season 1, where she finally admitted to her own self, like, oh my god, I have a crush on this guy. I like this guy. And we see that go on throughout the rest of season 1. And we start off season 2 with that pretense knowledge, knowing that. I think episode 1 was a great start. I feel like it was perfect, just My Dress Up Darling prime stuff. We find out the cosplay that we want to make. We see Marin acting like her bubbly self, Gojo acting like his shy and usual self, fan service. We even get a Pocky game out of it. Like, we get it all, basically. We get Gojo freaking out over Marin's costume, because of course he does. And yeah, just a great way to come back to this great show with episode 1 kind of picking back where we left off. Also, by the way, the animation, really good. I really love the animation. It looked amazing to watch. A cute moment was near the start of episode 2, where Gojo stood up for Marin, kind of like the whole trope of like,
oh man, these random guys are taking this pretty girl and I gotta come in and save and help her because she's my friend. I secretly like her maybe on the inside.
And Gojo has that moment with Marin, even though we found out that that's Marin's hairdresser. Not trying to hit on her at all, but it was a cute moment. And Marin knew it was a cute moment. And we see a little kiss. But of course, Gojo doesn't know about it because he has a bunny head on. It's Halloween. We also get a sick episode because it's romance. It is required. It is absolutely needed that someone almost dies over being sick and the other person comes over and helps them out, and we get really cute moments like that. And we got a full half of the episode of one as well. Marin gets sick. Gojo cuts school to go over to Marin's house and help comfort her, cook for her, feed her, just be there for her. Man, Gojo MVP type stuff. I mean, cutting school for this, but the good person that he is, cutting school, that this was so important to him, We even get a little cute moment of Gojo going to see Marin's photo shoot, which was really cute. Person directing the shoot even confusing Gojo for being Marin's boyfriend a couple of times before Gojo actually realized it and got into his shy, flustered self. And even at the end, we see Marin celebrate Shizuku's birthday, who was the person she first cosplayed in season 1. Nothing really to do too much with the story. It's just really cute that Gojo is going along with Marin's things, and him just being there was really funny. Then we get the little culture festival mini arc, where a lot of great moments happen there. Starting off with the shopping thing, where Gojo isn't going to go shopping with Marin because he's more trying to kind of get invested and help out with the other classmates with the labor, because the guy's supposed to help with the labor and all that stuff. But then the classmates flip it on him and are like, wait a minute, why are you here? Go help Marin with that cosplay. We got everything, which was a big part of this season. We'll talk about more later. Marin cooks lunch for Gojo for multiple days, which is really cute to see. The cosplay actually itself turning out really nice. Gojo locking in for a moment was one of the best moments of the season, and Gojo even getting emotional over seeing his cosplay work for Marin and seeing how much love Marin got for the cosplay. And then even the after party, where Gojo and Marin find themselves alone together, going to take a photo in the photo booth until the guys come in and steal it away from her. You dickheads. A cute thing that happens throughout, I feel like, the entire season is Marin actually eats with Gojo and his grandpa at their house, like a little family. Isn't that so sweet? We get episode 7 when Marin finally gets the camera that she wanted and Gojo going around taking pictures of her. I think that was one of the most wholesome and sweetest moments of the season as well. Then we get to the last couple episodes, and the big part of this is Gojo having to spend the night at Marin's house. So basically, they have cosplay group together for a horror game. Gojo doesn't know about the horror game. Marin says,
Hey, come over. We play it together.
and so Gojo goes over Marin's house. It gets really late. He wants to go home, but then, oopsie, trains aren't working. You know what that means? Sleepover. It takes some convincing, but Gojo actually goes along with it. They go to a convenience store, and Gojo gets a plan to get some energy drinks because in his mind, he thinks that if I stay up all night, technically I didn't spend the night over there at this girl's house. I just waited there for a very long time until the trains are running, and then I go back home. So I'm not doing anything wrong, even though you staying the night at a person's place isn't wrong, especially when they asked you to. But it's Gojo, so you know how his brain works. And then we get the misunderstanding, which didn't really happen a lot in this show. I'm personally not a huge fan of the misunderstandings, but I understand that it's something that happens in romance anime, so I can kind of live with it. Marin goes over and sees Gojo buying something from the 18+ aisle, and she thinks that he's buying condoms, but in fact, he's actually buying energy drinks, but she doesn't know that. And it leads to a big old misunderstanding for the next episode of Marin thinking that Gojo is actually going to make a move on her, which, think about it now, is really funny because we know what Gojo's personality is, and for Marin actually to believe and think that Gojo would do that is hilarious. But it made for some spicy good content, which is what this show always tries to provide us. So Marin is basically going through it in her head, trying to wrap her head around that this might actually happen. Gojo might actually make a move on her. We even get a little scene of Gojo being on top of Marin because she falls off the couch, because of course we have to get it, I guess, with this context. And then eventually Marin finds out, oh no, misunderstanding the whole time. But we also see another side of Marin where she kind of thought this misunderstanding. She wasn't necessarily saying no and being scared of it. Well, was she kind of scared of it? Yes, but it wasn't like a full-on ill, that's disgusting no. It wasn't a full-on yes, let's do it either. She was kind of in the middle of like, if it does happen, then okay, I guess we go with it. But if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. And it ends up not happening, which she actually gets a little sad about. And this is the part which I really liked with this season, where I feel like the perspective of the show kind of shifted a little bit. Like usually, not even just in this show, but in romance anime itself, it's mainly about the guy's perspective. Like obviously we get some shows where it's like the girl is the main character, but in this show, I feel like Gojo was the main guy and everything was kind of surrounding him in a sense. And from this point on, the show kind of flips the perspective where everything is going on around Marin. We do get Gojo scenes here and there and what we get inside of his head, but mostly that's about the cosplay. We don't really get things in his head about his relationship and how he feels about Marin. Now we all get Marin's feelings about what she feels about Gojo, and it's just a very like smooth kind of flip of the perspective, because for the rest of the episode she's kind of going through it of like, dang, okay, I really like this guy. She finally decides for her own self, I'm going to confess to him after we do this cosplay group, which is a big step and something very, very exciting. And then we get the final confession scene, which is going to be its own section, so stay tuned for that. I think something this season did very differently from season 1 and did well was exploring the other characters. Like, I went back before I recorded this and kind of skimmed through season 1. Didn't watch the full thing over, but I kind of skimmed through season 1 just to make sure I was right about this. And they don't really go into detail or explore the other characters. Like, I don't know if we really get scenes without Gojo and Marin in it at all, which understandable. Season 1, we're trying to establish both these characters, so obviously makes sense. But this season, they kind of expanded the world of this show a little bit more. Like, we actually got like full-on backstories and different ideas and problems with some of these other characters. Amane is a good example. The cross-dresser they meet at a cosplay event, he basically gets a whole half an episode, episode 3, of him explaining his background of grew up around, his sister and mother, and they encouraged him, to explore himself, and he started dressing as a girl. He had a girlfriend in college that didn't like it, and so he kind of was just like, oh, okay, whatever, I'm still gonna cosplay because that's what I like to do, and we love Amane for that. You know, he's a good guy. We explore the other classmates that they have, where before they were just kind of people that existed, but then they have their own kind of arc of them trying to help out Gojo and help with the culture festival, and them starting to believe in Gojo and them actually becoming friends with him. And that was just like a super sweet moment in this season. We get the cosplay group together for the last few episodes, Suzuka and Mia, which are Marin's friends that we get to meet, that also are cosplayers and are a big part of the cosplay group. We even get like scenes with them without Marin or without Gojo, like those two talking, or those two talking with other people. And it's very, very interesting to see that in this show. We didn't see it at all before this. We get Akira, who is someone that Gojo meets. She makes like weapons and stuff for cosplay. She cosplays sometimes, and we see her go from someone where we first thought was going to be like the cool badass, you know, woman character that didn't like Marin for some reason, or just quiet and shy to herself. But then by episode 12, we figure out that she actually loves Marin a lot, which is why she was kind of acting cold. And that in the inside, she's just really a shy, obsessive girl, which is a really fun flip-flop from what we thought it was going to be. Juju returns in season 2, and we even see a lot of her and her younger sister. We see with the cosplay group, it's about a horror game, but she doesn't like horror, but for her little sister, she'll do anything. And that's like the key to her heart, really, is through her little sister. We even get some other things from her where she doesn't want to cosplay certain characters because she's small and she doesn't think she'll do the characters justice, and she really like cares about this cosplay type of stuff. And her and her sister have just a very, very cute relationship that go on. So yeah, I think they did a really good job of exploring the other characters, making the other characters really, really likable, and see what they're going through in their heads. It's not just the Gojo and Marin show and everyone else is kind of just around here and there, gets thrown in here and there. It's like, no, there's actual other people in this show that are like real characters and that you can really relate to, which I think is another great thing they do about this show, is that they make this show super like relatable. Like no one in the show is like perfect. Like there's sometimes in romance where they make some of these characters like the perfect characters, or they try to make everything where it's like, no, these are just real people that have a love for a certain thing, and they have their good things, they have their flaws, they have the things they don't like about themselves or whatever, and it's just super relatable, which I think is a huge reason why this show is so popular, is because, you know, you can look at some of these characters and be like, oh dang, I feel that feeling, or dang, I know what it's like to be in that type of situation. Like it does a really good job of doing that. We learn a lot of lessons and get a lot of like moral things in this show as well. Learning to accept others. A great thing in episode 1 that happens is when they're at the karaoke bar for the Halloween party. It's Mara and some of their classmates and Gojo, and they start talking to Gojo, and one of the guys tells Gojo like, dang, you know makeup and stuff? Like that's like, why do you do all that? Why do you know how to dress and know makeup and all that stuff? But then it's not out of a place of like disrespect, because then the other guy next to him is like, yeah, well, my brother does that too. And he's like, oh yeah, you're right. And they kind of learn a little bit how to kind of accept Gojo, and Gojo more himself learns like, oh dang, like other people don't find me weird, because all he's known throughout his entire life growing up is like, oh, I'm weird for doing this, or people aren't gonna like me for doing this, people are gonna think I'm, you know, this certain like crazy type of person, when in reality it's like, no, you're not weird. You just have to find the people that accept you for who you are. And Gojo kind of having that lifted off his chest and giving himself some confidence was just like a really cool and sweet moment in episode 1. And we even see that in the culture festival arc, where the rest of the class basically relies on Gojo and is like, hey, like, you take care of the cosplay, you do everything you have to do, we'll take care of all the rest of the work, you know, whatever you need from us, we got you. And even make new friends. Gojo like actually is accepted, and he makes friends with all these other guys and classmates, and also is able to rely on them, you know, for certain things. Like they relied on that girl to make the rainbow flower for one of Marin's cosplay. Like they rely and asking for help, you know, a big lesson there. It's like, it's not, you know, we're all in this together. Kind of is the only way I can explain it. Where like, I can rely on you, you can rely on me, we got to help each other out to get to where we want to go. Another thing that's not only with this show but just anime and romance anime sometimes in general is like knowing your worth and deserving good things. Like this really sparked my head from episode 12, the last episode, when we learned finally about Akira and why she likes Marin so much. And there's lines she says when Marin realizes that, and Marin like goes up to her and they like make friends, is like, dang, do I deserve this happiness? And there's some other points in the show where like Gojo even. It's like, do I deserve all these friends? Do I deserve being with Marin as a friend? And you get that a lot in these animes, and it's a good thing to kind of teach other people. Is like, hey, like, yeah, you deserve good things. You know, you do good things, you deserve to get good things. You know, and you deserve happiness. You deserve to have friends. You deserve to live a good life. And I think that's a great lesson that we see at certain points in this show as well. Finally, let's get to the confession scene. That's what I think a lot of people are probably here for. They probably skipped all the way here to just see my reaction to the confession scene. If you did, that's cool. You know, I still appreciate it because you're still watching the video, so thanks. The final scene of My Dress Up Darling Season 2. So there's been this whole build-up from the last about episode and a half about Marin finally trying to confess to Gojo, confessing her feelings. Finally, everyone wants to see. Everyone is like, finally, please do it. And she says she's going to do it after cosplay group, which they do. They walk home together. Gojo walks Marin all the way back to her apartment. He gives this really nice speech about, you know, wanting to be, you know, next to her and making her smile and all that type of stuff. And just as soon as he's about to walk away, Marin grabs Gojo's hand, because Marin this whole time is kind of like, you know, that feeling, you know, we've been there before, where it's like, do it, but your mouth just won't do it because you're too scared, but your brain is telling you, just do it already. You all know that feeling, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. So Marin grabs Gojo's hand and asks, do you want to take a selfie with me? Which they do. They take a nice selfie, a cute selfie, they play around, and that's how season 2 ends, which is a interesting way to end things. I know it's got a lot of people talking about it. Now, I don't read manga. I don't know. Apparently this maybe happens in the manga. I'm not 100% sure. So I don't read manga, so I did not know this is coming. I don't know anything about what happens next in this show at all. But yeah, the confession scene was definitely something that has been talked about a lot, and it's going to keep being talked about a lot till we get to season 3, which is a good thing that they opened the door for that. But my thoughts on it, well, am I mad about it? No, I'm not mad personally. Am I disappointed? I would be lying if I said I was a little bit disappointed. Obviously, we want to see them confess. We want to see them, you know, be happy and be a romance together. You know, like that's what everyone wants, but we unfortunately don't get that. So am I a little disappointed? Yes, kind of. But for me personally, I kind of liked it. I kind of liked it, and I kind of like that they went down this route. Now, let me explain why. Okay, I'll give you a couple points. Number one, this was something I was thinking of while this build-up thing was happening, while we were getting closer and closer to the moment. I was thinking about it from Gojo's perspective, because again, at this point in time, for the last couple episodes, we don't really get to see Gojo's point of view in any of this. Like, to this moment right now, we still kind of don't really know if Gojo actually likes Marin the way Marin likes Gojo. Like, we do get little samples of it here and there, especially in episode 6 in the cosplay, when Gojo is like, what's this feeling I have watching Marin's cosplay and all that stuff? Like, the only feeling I've ever felt similar to this is when I found my love for Hinata. So it's kind of a little bit insinuating that Gojo has some feelings for Marin, but we don't actually get a full-on, like, Gojo being like, oh my god, I like her type of moment. So at this point, we kind of still don't really know what his feelings are like. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, is Gojo ready for this? Like, is Gojo ready to be in a relationship? Maybe not. We all know he's a shy boy. You know, he hasn't really had a lot of interaction or friends growing up. This all is kind of new to him, like having Marin as a friend, doing cosplay, now all these classmates, and now all this cosplay group, and, you know, learning how to interact with people, and learning how to, you know, being accepted, and trying to ask people for help. Like, this is all kind of coming at him, and he's trying to adjust and, you know, take it as he goes. You know, so sprinkling a relationship on top of that, I don't know if Gojo can really handle it right now, to be honest. So maybe them not going all in on it yet is kind of maybe a good thing. You know, it's kind of like disappointing now, but it's better for the long run. Another point that maybe some people forget is Marin is scared of rejection. She's mentioned this multiple times throughout the entirety of the show, where she's kind of scared of being rejected, which is normal. I mean, a lot of people in some ways are scared of rejection. And so imagine, and tying that back to the first point where Gojo might not be ready for it yet, imagine Marin confesses, and Gojo, being the honest good guy he is, even if he does say yes at first, there might have been a moment where he's like, you know what, this is a lot right now, I don't really know yet, I still want to be your friend though. And imagine him rejecting Marin, which is, chances of that, let's be honest, not very high, but there is at least a 0.1%. So there's a chance. That would absolutely crush her. She would like go into a deep depression, you know? So I think the detour of her maybe wanting to confess, but then being like, you know what? I can't fully go all the way. So let's just go with the selfie route. I think that's a kind of realistic and nice little detour to get there. Another point is they are getting closer. Like you can see it for sure. Like throughout the series, they're getting closer. They're getting more established in their friendship, getting closer together. I mean, that scene where Marin asks, do you want to take a selfie with me? Gojo, with no hesitation, says, for sure, of course. You know, if this was early season 1 Gojo, he would have had the little like, I don't know. But he, like, for sure just said, yeah, why not? Of course. Didn't even think twice about it. That shows that he's getting more confident in himself. He's getting more comfortable around Marin. So they're getting closer. You know, just because they're not fully, you know, in a relationship yet doesn't mean they're not getting closer and closer. The relationship is still building. And the last point is, there's no rush. You know, it's not like we're at the last day of high school graduation. It's like, if I don't tell her now, I'm never going to get a chance again, you know, or nothing's like happening anytime soon that's going to change anything. They're still in school. They're still, again, building their relationship. They're still doing the cosplays and stuff. Like, there's no rush to do it right now. You know, let's just keep building this thing up and let's keep getting closer and closer until we both are at a point where we know that this is the right thing to do. At the end of the day, was it, again, odd and different? Yes. Did the makers of the show edge us?
Huh?
Absolutely. But in my personal opinion, I like this route. It also confirms that there's a season 3 and there's going to be more, because you can't end it like that. Obviously, if they ended like that, they would be really stupid. So we're getting more, which I will take all day. I will take another season of these two people because I like this show a lot. Closing thoughts. I really liked season 2. A lot of cute moments in it. I like this better than the first season, to be honest, even though I like the first season a lot, and I think I'm gonna go back and watch season 1. I might make a video on season 1. You know, let me know down in the comment section below if you want to see a video on me talking about season 1, reviewing season 1. I would like to do that. But I like this season. A lot of cute moments. You see these two goofballs getting closer and closer together, which we really, really like to see. They did a great job, I think, of exploring the other characters. Did a great job of, you know, building this world up. Did a great job with the lessons and, you know, the morals of what they wanted to show in the show and wanted other people to kind of see and relate to. Like, do a great job of relatability. Overall, I think just a great season. You know, like a really, really, really good show. So if you haven't seen season 2, I'd really recommend it. If you want to see, you know, some romance, then I suggest it. If you want to see some good character writing, I suggest it. If you want to see some things that will touch your heart, you know, and maybe make you a little bit emotional, I recommend it. You know, if you want to see some fan service, I recommend it. I recommend more season 1, but I recommend this one too. And yeah, overall, 2 thumbs up. Really, really great show. And I'm excited that we're probably going to get a season 3. So now let's talk about what I want to do with this channel. So I've made this channel about, I want to say 2 years ago-ish. And this channel started as kind of like a variety channel where sometimes I did anime, you know, reviews like I'm doing right now. I did video games sometimes. I did tier lists sometimes. There's really like every week there was like something different going on with this channel, which I liked. I wanted to explore different things. And then I just stopped for a while. Then I kind of brought it back a couple months ago where I was doing gaming. Marvel Rivals and playing with my friends and stuff. I did like 3 videos of that and then I stopped. I've been kind of trying to figure out what I want to do with this channel. I don't really know. And I honestly thought I probably was just going to not touch the channel ever again and just leave it how it is, you know? But then a thought occurred to me. Actually, while I was watching this season 2 of My Joseph Darling, I was thinking like, I'm a huge romance anime fan. Like for years, I've been a romance anime fan. I literally have a list on my phone that's not even fully updated yet of over like 50 plus, or realistically it's probably around 60 to maybe even 70 romance animes I have watched. I love it. I can't get enough of it because I can't get it in real life, so I live vicariously through these 3D animations. And I was thinking, I was like, I have so much knowledge of this thing and I like this thing so much. Why not try to do something with it, right? And put it to some sort of use. So this channel is going to be reviewing romance anime, specifically romance right now. Eventually in the future, I might do some more because as you can see from the background, I do have more loves than just romance anime, but that's just the thing I probably know the most about and I watch the most. So if you want reviews of romance anime. Either you watch them already and you want to see other people's thoughts on them, if you want to relive, these different animes, if you've never seen these animes before and you want to know what they're about and you want to know if if you should watch them or not, this is the place to be. I don't know what the upload schedule is going to look like, to be honest with you. The next couple weeks, I'm going to do the other romance animes that have come out. I have them on my list. I'm going to be watching them very shortly, and I'm very excited to do that and to keep, getting better at this type of video, But yeah, that's basically all I got for today. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you do like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Comment down below some things. I don't know. It helps the algorithm out, so that'd be cool. And if you want to stick around and support the channel, hit the subscribe button. It's free. Hitting the subscribe button would mean a whole lot to me. This also is my second channel of mine. I have a main channel about basketball, which is the complete opposite of what this channel is going to be. But if you like basketball, like sports, and maybe if you know someone that likes basketball, my link to the other channel, Everyday Who's be in the description. Check it out or send it to that friend or whatever. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.